I'm sure many of y'all have visited websites which try to replicate Amazon in a niche product, in a niche category. What I mean is, these companies feel that, okay, we will only buy and sell e-commerce with respect to one particular product. Let's, for example, take only electronics. This company feels, let's say it's company A, they feel that Amazon sells everything. But when people think of electronics, they should come to my website. Unfortunately, as you'll also know, many of these websites fail because we as consumers will generally gravitate towards Amazon, of the Flipkarts of the world, because not only is our mindset ready that when we think of buying online, we think of these companies, but they have better discounts most of the times, and it's just there is more affinity towards these brands like the Amazon and the Flipkart, and this company A, which tried to really make its niche in this world, unfortunately fails. However, there is one company in India which has defied all odds and made its mark in the e-commerce space as a differentiator to Amazon in the cosmetic industry. And that company is Nykaa. So today's case story is going to be about Nykaa, where we talk about the entire story essentially of Nykaa and what it has done today, what it is today. So in 2012, Falguni Nayar, she was the ex-managing director of Kotak Mahindra Capital. She founded Nykaa with her entire family. Okay, now just to give you all a heads up of where it is today, 95% of Nykaa is still owned by the Nayar family. Okay, last year in 2019, they broke even at 1,229 crore rupees as their revenue. And Anshit Nayar, which is her son, he told the media that we will not go for an IPO unless we make 200 crore profit year on year consistently for a few years. For those who didn't understand the value of this statement, it means that the Nykaa family is so clear, so fundamentally sound about their business that they do not plan on raising money just for the heck of it. They understand how to grow the company, how to ensure that capital is not raised for the heck of it. They understand the business model inside out, and they want to do it profitably. They want to make sure that not only do customers who are able to benefit from Nykaa have more convenience and better prices, but even people who invest should have good returns. They don't want to just raise, grow, and then maybe never have a profitable company like so many others in the past have tried. So this is the sort of background of the founders and the family behind Nykaa. Coming to the business model of Nykaa, Nykaa has an inventory-led business model. What does this mean? If I am Nykaa, okay, I will purchase different products of cosmetics, of beauty, of wellness from different companies and keep it in my warehouse. Okay, and I will have warehouse in big warehouses in cheap places where I can ensure that the products are kept safe at a low cost, and I will wait for some buyer to come purchase it from my website, and I will deliver this from my warehouse to their house. Okay, so what is the difference between this and another business model on e-commerce? There are other e-commerce websites where they are platforms. So if in that case, if I was an e-commerce website, I would just make sure that this company which has these cosmetic products would come on my website and list themselves. And I will wait for a buyer to come and purchase it, and then the company will deliver it to the buyer. I will not be in the picture with respect to the product. So Nykaa actually ensures that it takes these products into their warehouse, takes the inventory into their warehouse, which is why they call it inventory-led model, and then sell it. There are reasons behind this, which I'll come to in a bit. This is the business model of Nykaa. So I'm going to give you all 5 reasons why Nykaa would have probably succeeded where another company which has tried an Amazon approach to a niche category failed. So point number 1, the way Nykaa has designed its business model. Right now, traditionally, if you would have gone to a cosmetic store, right, you will notice that it is generally in very high density commercial spaces such as a mall. So the rent is very expensive. Second, these stores need to have experts who understand makeup or hair or skin, whatever the product you want to buy, because as a customer, we might not know what we want to buy, but we need to talk to some expert who helps us make that decision. So these skilled employees need to be hired per store, making it again expensive. Third, now there is a concept called SKU. right? Stock keeping unit, or you pronounce it as SKUs. What does SKU mean? It's a concept in inventory management. It is, okay, I'll give you an example. In cosmetics, right, I don't have too much of experience, but I'm gonna try with nail polish because I understand that. So nail polish, let's say a store needs to have so many different types of nail polishes, right? If they take, let's say they have shades of different colors, and for example, they need, hypothetically, 100 shades, right? Now, for each of these 100 shades, they might need to keep another 100 units of these shades. So that becomes a total of 10,000 units of nail polish that they need to keep in one store. Also, there might be some shades which are popular. So that shade which is popular, let's say a shade of red, for example, more than 100, there might be a demand for more than 100 units. So there might be the 101st customer who wants that and will not get it. At the same time, there are some of these shades which will never be bought. So those are going to remain in their inventory useless. So they have to manage all of this, they have to anticipate demand, ensure that the popular SKUs are actually, the popular shades are kept in more volume, the other ones are kept in less. So each of these shades would be called an SKU, a SKU, right? And they need to manage their SKUs well so that the inventory is managed correctly for this store. This is a very in-depth, complicated procedure for any retail store, right? Now, these are the reasons why it used to be expensive for a traditional store to keep cosmetics. However, if any of you all watch Shark Tank, right, Kevin O'Leary would keep saying that the cosmetic industry has the highest margin of any business which is legal, right? So, in spite of it being a little complicated, the margins are excellent. Now, what did Nykaa do? First of all, Nykaa said, you know what, I'm going to do away with all of these issues, right, of high rent, of keeping these expensive, skilled employees to help, as well as of this inventory management nightmare. They said, okay, because we are going to be online, right, we don't need to take any rent, first of all, so that is out. So instead, we'll take warehouses across the country in cheaper places where we can store a lot of our goods at a lower cost. Second, obviously, they don't need to get a lot of employees full time. In fact, they started getting experts who will train people online. So I'll come to that in a bit. Third, now in one store, they need to manage their SKUs very carefully. But when it comes to a warehouse and it's online, they need to worry as much because there is volume in demand. Right, across the country, no matter where you're calling from, you can basically balance out and average out the SKUs, making sure that whatever is stored at the warehouse will essentially get sold in some place of the country. Right, it's not particularly waiting for some customer to come to that warehouse or only in that vicinity. So managing that becomes really, really easy for these people. So that is part one of how they've managed to ensure that the same problems the traditional approach had, Nykaa does not have. Part one. Part two, they've made sure that the time factor, they've nailed that perfectly. They said that the kind of people who buy these products, right, they're going to be okay to save time instead of going to the store on weekends when they don't have work. Instead of all of that, anyways, the Indian mentality is getting used to online e-commerce slowly. We are going to make sure that they buy it online. That has really paid off. Third is their numbers. Again, it comes to what I said in the beginning of the video. They are very fundamentally sound. Now, just to give you all a couple of examples, guys. I already told you all they broke even last year at 1229 crores. So one of the most important things that e-commerce companies have to focus on is something known as cost of customer acquisition. Okay, or customer acquisition cost, CAC, CAC, if you've heard about it, right? What that means is, for a website, they invest so much into marketing, into branding, into making people remember that website when they think of that product. So if I think of cosmetics, I should think of Nykaa. Nykaa has invested a lot of money into that. They need a customer to come on the website. When a customer comes on the website and purchases something, that is called them acquiring a customer. Whatever money they've spent in acquiring a customer, okay, that should ideally be lesser than something known as the lifetime value, LTV, of a customer. Which means, if the customer purchases products over a period of time more than what the company has invested in acquiring that customer, the company is in profit. or at least it's on its way to profitability. So just to summarize that part, the cost of acquiring the customer should be lesser than the lifetime value that the customer keeps giving the company. So in Nykaa, that is happening very well. Right? Ideally, Nykaa is spending approximately 200 rupees on getting a customer to their website to purchase something. On an average, the customer is spending 12 to 1500 rupees per cart, right? Which means a customer is giving Nykaa 12 to 1500 rupees every time they come to make a purchase on the website, whereas Nykaa is spending 200 to get them. So understanding, so they're spending less than what the customer is giving them. So that is a good sign. Plus, the customers who land up coming, right? Nykaa claims a 75% retention rate. That is absolutely amazing, which means if 4 people come on the website, 3 of them go to the website again and buy something, right? So from the 4, each of them must have spent, let's say, 1200 rupees. The next time, 3 of them come and again spend on an average 1200 rupees. So now from these 3 customers, Nykaa has achieved 2400 rupees. I hope you all are getting the math, right? But they've only spent 200 in getting the customer. So that's how Nykaa is going to be able to become more and more profitable. So this is the fundamental soundness under which Nykaa as a business is operating, right? 4. Now, Nykaa has done a fantastic job into creating an amazing online presence, okay, for what people were used to offline. Again, traditionally, people feel that how can we buy cosmetics? Cosmetics is something which they need to test, we need to see before they make a purchase. But Nykaa has been able to ensure that that is not really a hurdle for Nykaa's growth. What Nykaa has essentially done is it has made customers feel so much more confident about buying products online by they have a lot of presence on social media. They have almost 10 lakh subscribers on YouTube. They have over 120 million views on all of their videos combined. What this is doing is, earlier I would have to go and test out the product, okay, but now with so many experts teaching us what is good for us, what is right for us, I'm already building my confidence by saying that, okay, fine, I understand what this video is teaching me, I apply to this part of the video, I understand what kind of product I'm looking for, and it's already building my confidence that, okay, I guess I'm understanding what product I want, I don't mind probably ordering it. Similarly, Nykaa has something known as Nykaa's routine finder on their website. They are trying to make the experience of the user really easy. What they do is, if you go to the routine finder, they'll ask you very basic questions such as, what is it that you're looking for? You're looking for, skin products, hair products. Let's say you click on hair, right? Then it'll show you, okay, is it because you have oily hair, dry hair, you have dandruff, and let's say you click on dandruff. And then it'll suggest you a list of options which might be right for people who are looking for dandruff related hair products, right? So this way, through the right kind of videos tutoring us what is right for us, what is good for us, what we should look for, making our experience easy through this tool called the routine finder on the website, and many other things like this, Nykaa is building confidence in consumers without going to the store. It is giving us the confidence that, okay, after doing these few things, I already have faith that the product I'm choosing is probably the right one. I don't mind placing the order, right? So by doing this, Nykaa is really getting people to get more and more used to purchasing online by helping them make the correct decision, which they would have otherwise made if they went to the store. But here they're able to do it from home. Plus, this gives Nykaa the opportunity to let people come and order again without going to the store. Right? So this is another very powerful way of what Nykaa has done correctly to help consumers habituate themselves to buying online. Now, point number 5. This is something similar to what Amazon does, right? So Nykaa on its website ensures that it buys something from a company, waits for somebody to buy this product and then delivers it. It buys it at 100, gives it at 105. When that 5 rupees extra, Nykaa keeps. Right? This is the commission it keeps on all the products it purchases and sells. This is how Nykaa initially started. So this is called the commission that they keep. It's very minimum, but because of the volume, Nykaa is able to do a lot of this. Keep this commission eventually becomes a large chunk. Now, because Nykaa is becoming popular, people are trusting Nykaa. Nykaa has introduced its own line of products. Now, instead of buying from a company and selling it and keeping only the commission, Nykaa makes its own line, and when a customer buys this, Nykaa keeps the full profit on these products. So this way, not only does Nykaa make commission on popular cosmetic brands such as, for example, Lakme and all, but it also has its own line of products which it sells to people. It shows that at a discount and keeps a huge chunk of profit for these lines. So as a business model, Nykaa has been able to really kill it. It's done such a fantastic job that it's checkmarked on all the fronts, and that's how it's become such a profitable, well, not profitable yet, but it will be on it's on its way to profitability, and such a well established company in such a short span of time. So these are the 5 reasons why Nykaa has actually become more successful than any other company which has actually tried the same approach, trying to compete with Amazon in one niche. So I'm going to leave you all with what Nykaa is doing now. Guys, Nykaa has now expanded. It's going from e-commerce. It also has now offline stores, right? In a lot of cities, it's really doing fantastic with its offline stores also. Right, they've also now ventured from only cosmetics and beauty and wellness. They've also gone into things for men's grooming, and they're expanding their. I think they've gotten into herbal products also. So they're expanding their product lines also. So I want to leave you all with one question. What do you guys think? Right, there is 2 ways to think about what Nykaa is doing. Right, 1, stick to what you're good at. You've been able to do something well for so many years. Why would you go from becoming an e-commerce company into something known as a hybrid model where you're e-commerce as well as offline? Just stay where you are doing well, be the leader in that, and dominate that space. That is one train of thought. The second is, look, the only way to grow is eventually you experiment, you expand, and whatever works, you grow like that. That's how Amazon obviously did it, right? It stayed in e-commerce, but it started with saying, okay, we start with books, and as they became popular, they started adding more and more products. That time also people could have said, stay in books, but Amazon said no. Now, Amazon not only is doing e-commerce, but it also has overall other ventures, whether it's Prime, whether it is the web services. If any of you all are aware about AWS, there are many items under Amazon which are not related to e-commerce, but that's another way to grow a company. So what do you guys feel? Should Nykaa stick to its niche, e-commerce, cosmetic, wellness, beauty products, or should it take the chance, experiment, expand, and hopefully become an even bigger company because they were able to take these risks and execute them perfectly? Let me know in the comments.